if the federal government, the Ethiopian federal government, openly supports the rapid support forces along the Blue Nile border, then Sudan may be forced to give more support to the Tigray People's Liberation Front.
ساعة.
If the Army 70 of the Tigrayan forces continues to operate along the border, coming from Sudanese territory back to Western Tigray, then going back to Sudan, then coming back to attack and going back, the federal government may be forced to pursue the Army 70 deep into Sudan, in which case there may be casualties on the part of Sudanese civilians or on the part of Sudanese soldiers. That scenario may drag Sudan into the war. That's one scenario. The other factor that involves Sudan, drags Sudan into this conflict, is the issue of refugees. There are two refugee camps, I think, in eastern Sudan, hosting thousands of Tigrayan refugees who fled the conflict in 2020 to 2022. And the federal government, the Ethiopian federal government, believes these refugee camps are recruitment centers for TPLF, recruitment of fighters. That's what the federal government treats these refugee camps. And if true, I'm not sure whether it is true or not, but the Sudanese Commission for Refugee Affairs said some shells and projectiles landed on refugee camps and some refugees were killed. If that is the case, where do those shells or those projectiles come from? It may be from the side of the federal government, because the federal government wants to create to cut the link between refugee camps and TPLF, because it believes they are serving as recruitment centers. So that's one factor that can drag Sudan into the conflict. TPLF has accused the rapid support forces of fighting alongside the federal troops in the Shararena conflict. I have not seen any credible evidence to prove that, and I don't think the rapid support forces combatants participated in that one-day conflict, because I don't think the federal government needs the support of the rapid support forces at this stage, because it is a one-day conflict, limited confrontation. So the involvement of rapid support forces in that conflict is, I doubt it, but the accusation is there. The TPLF is doing that basically to regionalize the conflict, because regionalizing the conflict is in the advantage of the benefit of the Tigray People's Liberation Front. To involve Eritrea, to involve Sudan, it will help, because Sudan and Eritrea diplomatically, they are at odds with the Ethiopian government. So involving all these actors, external actors, into the conflict is part of the game on the part of Tigray People's Liberation Front. So if that is true, if the accusation is true, then that is really a major escalation. If really RSA forces coming all the way from Blue Nile states, from around the border Benishangul up to the northwestern Tigray, that's a major escalation.
غير رقم معين.
In general, both Sudan and Ethiopia know their limits. Ethiopia is entangled in its own internal war within Oromia, in Amhara, against the Fano insurgents. And Sudan also has its own internal civil war. So I don't think Sudan and Ethiopia are interested in escalating any conflict due to war in Tigray, because it will be out of their control, and they have limited capacity right now. So it will just stay like this, accusations and counter accusations. But it doesn't mean that anything can happen. But from the capability of both countries and from the the internal wars that they are entangled with, I don't think that they want confrontation, direct confrontation.